Hello, fellow Starborn. Welcome to Space Skyrim, episode 7.
Yeah,
I think?
It's episode 7. So, hi, it's Alice, pronoun she, they. And we took it a bit of a week delay, but now, with things simmered down, we're ready to do this next episode of Space Skyrim. So, today we do a little bit of few updates before we get into some spoilers about Crimson Fleet and the Ryujin Industries. The last of the factions we haven't covered the spoilers for at the moment.
Yeah, so this is our third spoiler cast. If you haven't heard the other two, we got a spoiler cast for the main story. We have a spoiler cast for Freestar Collective and UC. And this week will be Crimson Fleet and Ryujin Industries. We were meant to do this last week, but my TV died and I had to buy a new television, so I didn't have a chance to finish Ryujin before my TV died. So it was a bit of a bummer, but I finally managed to finish it. And now I've done all the factions, you've done all the factions, so it's going to be fun to just talk about this. Especially because Crimson Fleet were the first ones I finished, and Ryujin were the last ones I finished. So it's like, I'm looking back to like the beginning of my journey a little bit when we're talking about Crimson Fleet, which is going to be fun, for sure. But yeah, you wanted to do some updates before we cracked on with the spoiler cast?
So what's your recent things with Starfield? Like, how you get on with it? Because I think because of there's an issue with your TV, you weren't able to do Ryujin Industries, but now you got your TV back and you already done Ryujin for the podcast. So anything else you've done after it?
Not a lot, to be honest. I replayed a lot of the missions I did in the first playthrough, so I've gone back to Paradiso and speaking to the colony ship and stuff like that. I've been doing that, and some of the other side quests that I did before, and collecting powers again. But nothing like not too much, to be honest. I've been mainly playing Forza and Pokemon while I've been getting ready and starting to wind down my journey on Starfield. As much as I love this game, I think it's fantastic. I've done all the main story stuff now. I'm just on the grindy achievements left, which we'll just be discussing, next week or the week after, when we're talking about our achievement list.
It'll be next week to do with achievements.
But yeah, I want the grindy, boring achievements
because
now.
I already got all of the achievements.
Yeah. So I'm not playing it as much.
But I've got all the achievements on Starfield now, which is 1,000 gamer score. What I did is I mopped up all the achievements on my first playthrough. There isn't quite a lot for me to deal with anymore, and I think most of it can be gained through farms, but you still have to visit all the star systems and I think going through all the star systems and landing on 100 planets. But we'll go into much more detail next week and see how you get on with those. But I think you were contemplating whether you are going to be not probably just get tired with them.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do 100% completion, but some of these achievements do seem very grindy. I need to look at that guide that you used to, like, grind up levels, because I'm level 41, I think, and I got to get to level 100 to get the achievement, and that's literally, I've done 2 playthroughs now, and I'm only level 41, because I haven't been doing any of the grindy stuff. So I need to learn how to do the grindy stuff and the material farming and stuff like that. I need to look at it.
Sounds as if you already completed the game, like, the second time, did you?
I have, yeah. So I've basically done this game 100% pretty much, like, story-wise. I've done pretty much everything you need to do story. Like, I've done all 4 factions, the main plot, and most of the big side missions that I've, like, read up online. So yeah, I've had my fun with this game. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think it's a fantastic game. Still one of my games of the year, for sure. But I'm thinking, it's a lot of really annoying achievements left to go, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bother. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Well, you're already at level 41, so...
Yeah.
Well, because on my first playthrough, I did some grinding, and I've also did some achievements. And when I finished the game, I was at level 207 or something.
I know, it's crazy. You've really blown me out of the water with your leveling ups, which is hilarious. Because you did it a lot of the
Yes.
farming and stuff, which I've totally avoided doing completely. I've just been doing the stories. So it's interesting to see how much of a difference there is between us, which is crazy.
You haven't...
Because you'd think I would have more achievements for doing it twice.
You haven't heard about which level I am at, because I already finished the second playthrough to mop up all the factions, got all the achievements, but then I just ended up going through the main story and complete the second playthrough, which will be what I'll be talking about next week. So...
I think last time you said you were about... Did you say you were 320? Last time?
It's 330.
Oof, blow my neck.
I literally grinded so much. Like, I tried an animal husbandry farm because this is the best farm for both Xbox and PC, because when you fully scan, like, I think it's PS4 or 7, I don't know, and then you just go over there, scan everything, and then you can put the outpost and you put animal husbandry houses there. Of course, you do need to have perks. You need to have ammo, like you need animal perks to get animal husbandry houses. So it's a little bit of involvement there, but then eventually you just get the animal husbandry, kill animals, and they're generated with horn nest ammo on your shotgun, coachman ideally, and then you just go over to the door, repair it, which doesn't cost any resources, so you can keep killing animals for extra XP.
Right, okay. I need to look up how to do this online. I'll have to use a video tutorial.
But what I ended up doing is
it's something I need to do if I want all the achievements.
But yeah, what I did instead is that knowing the animal one is going to take forever, because in the moment, when you go past 200 in levels, level 8, it will take loads of experience to get to, say, 330. So I went in to build more outposts to focus on the Paragon Conductor, built the aluminium and iron farms to get more adaptive frames. Then I got neodymium and also the outpost for gold, silver, and copper. And yeah, it's just like got all of it for the Paragon conductors and been grinding on them. So I thought I would be stopping at 270, but I pressed on and reached 320. And this one takes 100,000 XP to get to 331.
Jesus. That's insane. You need to stop.
I have. And I thought I would have stopped at 330 because this is a level that it should be high enough so you can buy every single perk in the whole game, including the levels. But when I completed the second playthrough, I'm already halfway because completing the story missions still offer lots of XP for the levels there. So it's insane.
Yeah. And also, bear in mind, we are getting DLC for this game at some point, so it's maybe a wise decision to have XP left over to level up if you unlock a new skill tree or new missions to do or anything like that. So you never know. Be interesting. It was when I got the third playthrough, I'm like, oh, I thought I would get more money. Thought I would get to build more ships, but then I just reached this natural point. I'm like, I think I just got to stop and just step away from there, because as much as I enjoy playing this game and I'm still addicted to it, it just comes to the point where I need to catch up on my life, need to step back and then just enjoy life. So I just ended up stopping Starfield for now. But also the bigger deal is that I just gave up on trying to level up my perk challenges because some of the challenges are either broken or just too grindy to get to the higher levels. But funny enough, Tech Trees allowed me to get all the perks. Well, most of the perks anyway. But things like physical, social, infections one didn't get any infections at all. So it's a bit of a red herring. In fact, there's many others that I did not really bother to getting more levels with it. So therefore, I got loads of skill points. So that if a DLC offers Starbomb perks or anything like that, then at least I've got spare points to get all the perks up to begin with. Exactly. I was also going to say as well, if people are listening to this podcast now, if you want to know our opinions on every single perk in the game, we did do a tier list on the entirety of the perk list, and it's a long, well, it's free. It's a 3-hour video, but we split it into 5 parts. So if there's a specific tree you're interested in, just check out the video, and we go into detail. Spoiler alert: I think the tech tree is the best one. Yeah. Just going to put that out there. So maybe we should start talking about our spoiler cast of the Crimson Fleet and Ryujin Industries.
Yeah, so
are we going to crack on with that?
If you're watching for YouTube, you notice that we're now entering into spoiler field. But if you're listening on audio services, which now we seem to be offering the rest of the Space Skyrim episodes into it, just to like add a bit of like Starfield bits.
Space.
We don't know whether there's going to be more main podcast episodes, but right now it seems to be on hiatus. But if you're listening to this audio version, then I'm going to let you know that we're about to go into spoilers about Ryujin Industries and the Crimson Fleet. So
make sure you play both these sides, both these factions before moving into the podcast. If you're listening to this on YouTube, there should be timestamps so you can skip over certain sections if you don't want to be spoiled about Crimson Fleet or Ryujin. As well, that's also
I think on YouTube is going to be sections about Crimson Fleet and of course Ryujin, but I suppose you can skip over like certain Questlines. But if you get to the point where you start to get really spoiled, back out or stop a video.
Yeah, and then if you really want to listen to Spoilercast, we have the main plot story of Spoilercast, which is episode 5, and we have the Free Star Collective UC, which is episode 6. So lots of spoiler casts for you guys, and this is our third and final spoiler cast. So let's jump into it, I guess.
So
we got to start with Crimson Fleet or Ryujin. What do you fancy doing
I was
first?
about to say that Crimson Fleet is the first one. So as you were like talking about it like a few weeks ago, probably around the time when we start doing the Space Skyrim, you said like, get yourself arrested and you'll get this epic questline. Yeah. Well, this is it. We waited all this time and we finally get to discuss on how we get to the Crimson Fleet. So, can you tell me exactly how to be wound up with a bunch of pirates known as the Crimson Fleet?
Well, for me personally, this is my favourite quest line of the whole game. My favourite faction, and I think this is like the best part of the game, is the Crimson Fleet. And it was the first one I did. So I went into a bar on Mars and I accidentally picked up something off the table that I wasn't meant to, and then someone came in and said you were under arrest, and then next thing I know, I'm waking up in an interrogation room and being told I have to become an undercover spy for the UC Collective to uncover what the Crimson Fleet is up to. Ooh, double agents. Interesting. How did you end up in the Crimson Fleet?
Well, pretty differently, but then I realised that there could have been a different way, but twice I went through the UC Vanguard, and there's a first mission I did, so we discussed about it in like the spoiler cast, and I don't know if it's been mentioned, but once you complete the first few missions for the UC Vanguard, like very early in the game, you would get this mission called the Deep Cover, and that's got a skull in it. So then you will be able to head over to the UC. I think it was called UC Vengeance or some sort. You get into the ship and you meet up with this commander.
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I'll bring it up. But I think it's beginning with like I or some sort. So, but yeah,
I can't remember his name either. Sorry,
I think he's called.
It's been a while. I said it's the first thing I did.
But yeah, I think
my 300 hours of gaming in this game, this is like the first hour or so of the game for me. I literally, one of the first things I did was join the Crimson Fleet.
Yeah. So you meet up with the commander Akandi, and
Oh,
you're in
the
this ship, and it gives you the opportunity to like do this first undercover mission. So, and this leads to another one. That's how I joined there.
So,
and what you did is you got caught with a bounty, and instead of being sent to a usual prison, you get sent over to the UC.
Yes.
Oh, doesn't say so.
Vigilance.
Yeah, I think so, because you get kept in the prison there, and the commander steps over and like says, "Oh, if we can give you a clean slate if you just do this mission." So you can either like accept it and decide to be an undercover cop, or you can just refuse. And I think sometimes that if you explore around Sidonia in Mars, I think it's called Sidonia, you eventually be greeted by someone who says that you have refused to work for the UC. The UC SysDef is a separate faction from UC Vanguard, so it doesn't affect the Vanguard storyline. But if you refuse to help the UC SysDef, you meet up with someone that says, "Oh, you stood up against them. Come join us, Crimson Fleet." And this option lets you join the Crimson Fleet without the involvement of the SysDef, which means you can actually do murders and everything without annoying the UC SysDef. Because if you like annoy them, you just get booted out and get into trouble. So,
yes. Yeah, that happened to me. So, I mean, that's later on if we go mission by mission, but I completed one mission where I killed one or two people by mistake, and then they were really pissed at me. He's like, "This is your last chance." And then I had another mission where Sarah was with me, and she just killed a load of people. And then she's like, "How could you do this? How could you kill all these people?" It's like, "I didn't do anything. You did it, Sarah. For God's sake." And then and then they were pissed at me, the UC people. So I ended up killing them and running off and joining the Crimson Fleet like a bad boy. So they do get pissed off if you kill people. You got to be goody two shoes, which is not really
that's why
So did you ever have any issues with that, like trying to selfish them?
I was going to say that when it comes to companions, I just don't carry the companion with me, because I think they would actually get easily startled if any of them do attack. But I try to be as stealthily as possible and make sure I don't get into fights, because that's one of those things that can actually affect my payment from the Crimson Fleet, and that's the least damage it could do. But the first mission is known as the Mixed King. This one is a fairly bit bugged because you may not get the mission at all, and that's annoying. But to me, I did it through the deep cover, got the mission, and it's just like, go and meet a ship, and then when you look for a ship called, it says the Ragano of some sort, you need to like track down a former pirate called Justin Rake, who's betrayed the fleet. You can either like kill him, spare him, or whatsoever, but it's kind of a bit multifaceted, because you have a bunch of people that you need to persuade them or do something just so they won't attack you. Otherwise, they will easily attack you and you have to fight them. So you want the SysDef to not get into any fights, and you want just Austin to like spare his life and allow him to hand himself into the UC SysDef. So what's that? Yeah. So otherwise, that's what I did. I spared everyone on the ship, and then I went over to the Crimson Fleet person and lied that he's dead.
I did the same thing.
So that
I did exactly the same thing with that mission. So I'm assuming you could kill them, but I never got round to doing that. So I did the same thing as you. I spared everyone.
And that's the point, because
yeah.
if you're working with a UC sysdev, you have to make sure that you don't kill anyone on the Ragnar ship there, and making sure that Austin is alive. And then if you get everything done, you join the Crimson Fleet and get a pat on the back by the UC sysdev. But if you join the Crimson Fleet through them only, then you can just like go in, either blow up a ship or just kill everyone there, and that's really easy. But there's definitely 3 ways in which you can join the Questline, but I think joining just the Crimson Fleet is just the most fun.
Interesting.
But it's also a bit tricky to join there, when most people would probably just join the Crimson Fleet through UC sysdev.
Which is what I did, yeah. I went undercover, but yeah. So then we went on to Echoes of the Past. If I believe correctly, this is the one you go on the snow planet, right? And you get locked, you get like separated and stuff. Reminds me of a lot of the Thing.
First off,
John Carpenter, The Thing. Reminds me a lot of that.
You get introduced to the Crimson Fleet, and it's quite huge. You meet up with everyone, and you know where everything is. Yeah. But you then go through, like, you get the shipbuilder, but the best thing is that you get 5 shops there, and it has a combined vendor money total of around £30,000. Sorry, 30,000 credits, and it's perfect for selling your materials there. So I got loads of Paragon conductors and been selling...
And contraband,
selling them all and get loads of money. So it's definitely the best place in the game. It's just, it seems as if you need to let Crimson Fleet get away and you have still joined with them. But it's also the same place where you meet up with Delgato, whatever his name is. He's the leader of the Crimson Fleet.
Yeah, Delgato.
And he joins you on the first mission. So basically, you go through the lock. It's an abandoned prison where it's supposed to have a lost treasure called the Crix's Legacy. So you go in and dealing with your team, who honestly they're pretty much like a lot of cocky bunch there. So you go downstairs, kill all bugs, and then snow falls down, and then you had to meet up with Mathis, who doesn't like opposing you. He doesn't even like Delgado. So yeah, this is the mission I was just referring to. This reminds me a lot of The Thing, like horror films. Like you're in a frozen prison with loads of snow everywhere, and you're separated from the main team, and you're with Mathis, who's a bit of a dick. Mathis says that he wants to kill Delgato and take over the Crimson Fleet, and then you have to decide if you want to team with him or not. Did you decide to like rat out Mathis, or did you just go, oh yeah, he's cool, don't worry? Because I just went, oh yeah, he's fine. I didn't rat him out at all. I just went with the ace. Mathis has been really helpful, not a pain in the ass, I swear. What did you just went on, and whenever he says like, come on, let's kill Gado. Shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah, so I just like ignore it and just go on as usual, because we just go through, spend a lot of time to go through the prisons, find the caches and get some items. But there's a twist that there was supposed to be a bug which the latest patch fixes. Sometimes the bugs doesn't appear at the end, but for me, there's some bugs there, and there's a huge bug there. Those are not like computer bugs. It's just like literal bugs you need to kill.
That's what I was going to say. Do you mean actual insects? You don't mean like glitches. Just to clear that up, I was going to say, big insects that are like, like monstrous. Yeah, I had the same thing. And you get a nice new ship, even though it's kind of shitty.
Well, actually, it's like, you don't get to go back to your ship. What happened is that once you deal with the monsters, you have one option. Only one option is that you need to go into your UC prison shuttle. You need to get in there, pilot it and fly out of here. And what they say is that, we'll just handle your old ship while you just take this thing and take you and Mathis back to the key. And that's what I did. But while you still have your ship, because I flew over there on my UC Guardian, not the UC Guardian, it's the Starborn Guardian.
Frontier. Oh, the Starborn
Yeah,
one.
the Starborn
Okay,
ship. And yeah, they're just taking it back, and I still have it. But the cool thing is the UC Princess Shuttle is what I got as a free ship, which at least gives me an extra slot for me to build extra ships with it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you got a new ship, even though it was rubbish. You got another ship to add to your collection. It's a nice little ship, quite fast, but it's not very practical. I don't think you even had any weapons or anything on it either. It was a bit of a rubbish ship, but hey, it's a free ship. Can't complain too much. You can always dismantle it and buy a new, as you said, build a new ship on it. So pretty cool.
Now we go into the next mission, where this time it's about breaking into the bank, and this is quite a complex one. But it certainly has a lot of Dark Brotherhood from Oblivion vibes. You go in, there's a party, and you have options there where you try to... Because this is a gala, and apparently you have to try to see if you can steal a trophy from it.
I was going to say, this is the... so this is the space cruise ship. You didn't really explain that. So you're on a cruise ship that's like a space cruise ship full of like rich people, and they're having a gala. It's basically like a cruise ship, but in space. A space cruise ship. So, yeah, set in context. And you've got to go in there and sneak around, and what's this? You have one of your friends there helps you with the mission. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah. But he's actually quite a cool character.
It's a fun mission. This mission
goes through the mission with
but I enjoyed it a lot.
And I think that's really cool. But
yeah,
there's like things where you can sneak in, try to steal the trophy. You talk with someone through persuasion, and then she grasses up about that manager there, and it's just like, oh, there's some interesting information. Then you come up to the security, and he says like, I know what you're up to, and I'm watching you. And then you meet up with this Crimson Fleet guy there, and it's like, I think we're just about to hit the dead end. But if you get ever to someone who steals for the security, you can like end the life support and make everyone clear out.
The life support system that makes everything like turns off the gravity and stuff in the spaceship. Sorry, my dog's decided to stand up and start moving around. Right, anyway. But yeah, it's a cool mission. It's one of my favorite missions in the whole game, really. I think it's really cool. It's almost like a heist film. It makes me feel like Ocean's 11 or whatever. You got to try and, like you said, turn off the life support system to make the ship, everyone evacuate the ship so you can find the trophy that's worth a load of money. You got to try and convince people and talking to people and stuff. It does remind me a lot of like an Ocean's 11 kind of thing, which is really cool. I loved it. And the first time I did this, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Sorry, yeah, I thought the microphone got knocked off. Yeah, first time I did this mission, I accidentally killed the main guy at the end, and then I ended up having loads of people. I ended up in a firefight, so I reloaded my save, and I managed to do it without killing anyone. And the UC guy at the end was like, "You managed to complete this without any fatalities," and I was like, "Woohoo!" But the first time I did it, I had a massive firefight. You can see there's a video on our YouTube channel, a short, where I'm talking to the guy from the Crimson Fleet, and there's a woman shooting me while I'm talking. That's the end of that mission. The first time I did it.
Yeah. His guy's name is Eugenie Rockcove, and he's probably like the coolest character that you can bring into the Crimson Fleet. But yeah, there's an option where you can like let these guys in and like help be of like a benefit to the Crimson Fleet. So, but yeah, there's definitely options where you either grass them up or backstab them and they don't come back to the Crimson Fleet. But this is something we'll get to. But this one, eventually you meet up with like the big person that you need to deal with is Larry Dumkowski. And it turns out he thought that you'll be coming over and this deals with him. And then he just likes you to go over the reward, and then you just head back to the Crimson Fleet. He just gives you the credentials to Gal Bank. So you just fly out in the Atlantis, get the Gal Bank, and turns out, oh, there's a bunch of space pirates attacking me. And I was like, oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, so you go into you get the thing so you can go in the bank, and then inside the bank you get ambushed by space pirates. I don't really remember how they got in there before us, so it was a bit of a weird one, but yeah, you had a shoot up in the middle of a bank, which was interesting. It made me feel like a bit like Payday. That bit, it felt like a Payday game. It's very weird, the contrast. But yeah, Galdel Bank and Sam Coe helped me out with that one. That was when I was with Sam Coe that time. That was fun though. That mission was a weird one, but yeah, you got the information you needed and got out.
So, how's a little space western for you?
Yeah, it's all over the place, this game. I love it. one minute it's like Cyber, but next thing is like Payday. Next thing is like Red Dead Redemption. It's all over the place. I love it. So yeah, that mission was fun. I can't remember what absolute power is. Well,
that comes after the best there is.
The best there is.
And this is the one that gives you achievement. It's a bit buggy because when you just like finish with the UC sister, and by the time you get over to the key, make sure you get over to the two of the Crimson Fleet girls there. And if you just moved on and do something else, the talk happens automatically, and it may block you out of the quest. So if you begin this mission and you fly back to the key, make sure you interact with them first, and then you just continue the mission. It does have some few bugs there, but I was able to complete it. But in this one, you meet up with Juan, and she's organised a disguised ship, so she can get to interact with the star station and load up with a cargo. So you had to sneak in, steal a uniform, and see if you can get a comm spike experimental device, which is one of those parts that you need, and you get like a Gal Bank credentials. So yeah, you're pretty much doing some kind of heist, the big one, and that's what the Crimson Fleet is all about.
I think this is the one where I went in there and Sarah started killing people, so I just ran through it, got to the end, got the comm spike and then left. So I didn't do a very good job being stealthy. And then the UC were like, why did you kill all these people? I'm like, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to kill anyone. I didn't want it. It was all Sarah's fault. And then I got kicked out. And then the UC was like, you're under arrest. I was like, screw that. And I ended up becoming a pirate full time then, which was fun. I like being screw the UC. UC's lame. Pirates are way cooler.
I had to save...
But then it's the mission I messed up, I think.
Yeah, I had to save scum and keep reloading saves whenever I get into trouble. So what I did is... a little bit of trickery there. And apparently there's ways in which you can trick people and persuade them. And I was able to sneak in... get over, grab a uniform, and the rest is just fairly easy, but you can just make sure that you stick around, don't get too close to people as you get through the rooms there. Then once they went to the next floor, much easier, and then you meet up with the scientist, and to be honest, it took me a few tries to persuade him, because you need to persuade this guy so you can become a test pilot and get some uniforms so you can steal a ship.
I said I went the hard way. I mean, that's a bit of advice I can give anyone. If you're struggling with the stealth missions in either the Crimson Fleet or Ryujin or anything, just going all guns blazing. You can still do it that way. You can still do it that way. It's not the way it's intended, but if you just run to where you're meant to go, you can still do it. But obviously, you have to save scum a couple of times because if you get caught, they go, "You're under arrest. Come with us."
Stop right there, criminal scum.
Make sure stop there, criminal scum. Yeah, exactly. You got to just be careful not to get caught. But as long as you keep running and you just go straight to the checkpoints you need to get to, you should be fine. But it is annoying. I would like to have been able to do the stealth a bit better. Well, I think I unlocked a really cool stealth armor later on in the game, which would have been really useful at this point. But unfortunately, didn't have it at this point.
Well, it's basically you have to be really stealthy. And honestly, the stealth mechanics is just really hard. And you had to do certain things like removing your spacesuit and also level up your stealth perks. Otherwise, it's just as easy to kill everyone and be a total space menace.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I managed to become the test pilot.
Yeah, and also if you
and then went into the ship and tried to fly out on my grav drive, and like, oh, everyone's shooting at me. Come on, let me use grav drive. So I escaped. No bounty.
I think the stealth can be very annoying, as you just said. Like if you crouched, it tells you if you're stealthing or not, or if you're visible. But sometimes it says you not. No one can see you. I'll steal something, and then you'll get arrested. Then it's like, but you said no one can see me. What the hell? I don't like. You're not visible, and I grabbed something from a shelf. And it's like, well, I saw that. It's like you shouldn't have. What do you mean? It says something like. It's very frustrating. So yeah. The stealth needs improvement, I think.
Exactly.
That's something they can work on.
Because the stealth meter is made more complex. Like Skyrim, it's just a meter, but in Starfield, it comes green if you somehow get detected by somebody or someone notices you or some sort. Or is it? I don't know, it's different. But it turns orange if it's caution, and then red means danger.
And white means no one can see you. So I close the door, I got the white bar so no one can see me. I'll steal something, and then 2 seconds later a cop will come in going, I saw that. It's like, how? How did you see that? What do you mean? I want to steal things. Stop being so lame.
Well, that's weird anyway, so bloody doll.
It's annoying. A bit annoying. One of those things, but yeah. So that mission I struggled with. I tried to do it stealthy, I just couldn't. And the UC didn't like it, so there you go. Also, a bit of advice is leave your partner behind. Don't have them with you, because Sarah was the reason I failed that mission. And
I would do that for the entire Questline, because, as I said,
pretty much.
Leave your companion behind when you do this, because they don't always respect that you go in stealth. It's just crazy. Also, they may even
and they bitch and moan all the time when you do stuff with other pirates.
Yes,
which we'll discuss more when we get to the end of the story.
Anyway, you don't like that stealth mission, right?
No.
Then get prepared for absolute power, because this one is a super stealth mission. So basically, I mean, this could easily have been the Ryujin Industries one, where you have to sneak in and sneak through all the guards, and this took quick saves to make checkpoints. You had to go through the huge facility in order to get a part for your ship. So you just like go around, stick around the guards, no disguises or anything like that, but you had to use fence, and it's crazy though. You remember the Deus Ex Human Revolution where there's fence there, which usually takes shortcuts for the room? You just crouch down, activate the vent, and you go through. Guess what?
Yes.
In Starfield, these are literally huge door, and it just kind of reminds me of those human-sized cat flaps.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous, the size of the vents. And then sometimes I'll go in a vent to try to run away from like security guard, and a security guard will be in the vent. It's like, what are you doing in here? The events are a bit silly in Starfield, I must say. They're a bit too big. Maybe in the future we have big vents. Who knows? It's future vents.
Yeah. So basically, there's a something that you can. Looks like it could be mandatory or some sort. It still wants you to install the virus on the computer. At the same time, you try to sneak in to get a prototype. When you just sneak through, Brace and Bayou's in there, and it's like, I don't like this bother. You can just do whatever you do. So you just get the bits there, install the virus on the computer. Then you went into the Astro Lounge to meet up with Benjamin Bayou, and he threatens you and gets you in trouble. But whichever choices you have, it doesn't affect anything. What I did is that I lied, and it's actually your brother. But if you do...
Yeah, I did that too.
But if you do somehow like...
I did the same.
If it's you or you grasped up on Estelle, then it's you, or I don't know. But I think it has a huge impact. But I think its best way is just lie that, yeah, your brothers did this. So then you went over to Estelle, so...
Yeah, I said the same thing.
You just like get some support, return the key, and yep, that's it.
Yeah, I said I blamed it on his brother as well, which is like, oof, I just prayed. As I said, it was his brother, which is hilarious. I did the same thing, so yeah, I'd be curious to see what you said. It doesn't make any difference. I haven't seen what the alternative is, so really curious. I'll have to have a look at that.
Anyway, so we get to the huge mission there, and the only thing is just you deal with robots, and it's not a stealth mission. Thankfully, it's still the most annoying mission ever because you had to install the modules in your ship. So I don't want to do this on my Starborn ship, so I had to build my own ship. And it was like half-baked, but at least it's got enough parts to put your modules there. So went through, and then I went into this magnetic environment, and I had to get to the ship. I was like, oh no, I'm running out of health, lost the shield. Oh, I need to head over to the ship there. So I just came in, and this ship is filled with loads of robots, and there's some shortcuts which you can do with lockpicks. So I just went in, destroyed all the robots, and then I meet up with, I think it was a Crix guy or some sort, and listen to 2 audio logs. So then I just...
This is Eye of the Storm, by the way. I don't think you mentioned what the name of the mission was. This is the Eye of the Storm mission. That's all right. And then, you said... So this is the mission where you can get the best gun in the game. That's available to you in this mission, which is nice. And then you said you find the legendary Crix from Crix Legacy, and you listen to his audio logs. And go ahead.
And then you just put in the modules, put in the keys, and over the Gal Bank, and you get loads of money into this huge thing, which is like a funky ass USB stick. Once you've done that, you grab it up, and oh no, the ship's blown up. So you have to run away in the ship. There's
very Metroid.
Yeah, it's just exploding, takes out poisonous gases, but you just need to get over to the exit, get in the ship, and the ship explodes. I'm free.
For people who have ever played a Metroid Prime game or the first mission of Call of Duty 4 or any game like that, there's you're just running from explosions, which is fun, but it does feel a bit scripted, but it is one of those You've done a mission like this before in a first-person shooter, I'm sure you have, because it's in lots of first-person shooters you have these type of missions, but good fun. Trying to escape the ship without dying from explosions is a fun little end to that mission, for sure.
So then I went into
go ahead, sorry.
Ship there, undocked, and I need to get out of here, and I can get out of here, and ship loses all the health, and now I'm stuck in this space, because when I docked there, I didn't recover the shields, and I had to rely on the ship's whole health, so I just cannot escape. So what I did, I reloaded to the earlier save before getting through this thing, but this time because back then I only put some extra points into the ship's shields, which means it would have restored all the shields there. So I sorted that out, put all the points into the shield to recover it all. And then when I went and I had to do through the entire mission again.
Oh no. Couldn't you have fast traveled or something as soon as you got in the ship? Because that's usually what I would do if I'm in a situation.
You have to wait for the ship station to be completely destroyed. But once you're ready, you just go into the star map, choose whichever you need to fast travel to, which is either the key or the UC Vengeance, and then you grav drive over to one of them, and this would instantly make a choice towards the Legacy's end. And this is it. It's just basically kill everyone on the ship type of thing. So what did you choose in the end?
I was a bad boy. I went with the pirates. Screw the UC. They were mad at me because Sarah killed people. It's not my fault Sarah killed people. Don't be mad at me. I didn't do anything wrong. So I'm like, well, screw you guys. I'm taking the money and joining the pirates. So I went with the pirates. This is the hardest mission in the whole game, really? I think. Because I found it really... Well, yeah, because my ship wasn't that high leveled at the time. I suppose like, if I leveled up my ship more, it would have been better, but I struggled with this one a lot because the ships just kept coming and coming and coming. So who did you pick? UC or this Pirates?
I was going to go UC, but I picked the Pirates because I want to keep all the shops for me to sell stuff. But because my ship is it's a C class, so they've got particle weapons.
Ooh.
It was fairly simple. You just blow all the ships up.
Oh yeah. So you use the New Game Plus ship, right? The Guardian ship or the Starboard ship.
I built a ship with some more powerful weapons, and that helped.
Oh, I basically used the Frontier on this mission because this is like one of the first missions I did. I didn't do any of the main missions. I basically did this first. Crimson Fleet was the first thing I did. So I struggled with this bit. This bit really, I found really tough because my ship wasn't repairing quick enough, and the ships just kept coming and coming and coming. Whenever I was like, no, I thought I'd kill them all, and then another ship would show up. I'm like, no, stop, please, have mercy on my soul. But yeah, I think if I did it again now, I'd probably do much better because I got better ships now, for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, that's an interesting mission for sure. I love that. Yeah. So we both chose to be the bad people in the end, eh? We went for the Pirates.
Yeah, it's really good too because
nice.
I don't know how everyone dealt if they choose the UC, but I think it's really nice if you choose the Pirates because you meet up with everyone you met during the missions who decides to help you out. Like if you don't grasp up on any of them and say, oh, they're good stuff, they will help you get rid of the enemies. But funny enough, for me, with the power weapon, it's just like, oh, you just go in,
I like the Pirates.
Shoot the unarmored Marines in their heads. Then once you get over to the ship room, it's just like, I'm going to blow up this whole ship. Try to persuade Commander Akadendi, or whatever he is. Like, oh, I failed the persuasion, and I didn't save just before him, so I just blew him up with a horn-esque coachman.
Nice. I was going to say, I love the fact that you said you did this mission, you kept the Pirates because you wanted to keep the shops, and I did it because I wanted to have revenge on the UC. It's always the thing with us two. It's like, I was sad to leave Sarah, my wife, because of this, because I'm going to be sad to miss her. You go, I'm going to miss the 15% XP boost. You're always like the more practical side of it. I'm like emotional as hell. And it's like story reasons I don't want to do this. And you're like, oh man, I'll lose these points if I do it this way, or I'll lose these shops. And you're like the way more practical logic behind it, which I love. That's so funny. But yeah, that mission was good. So the one thing that annoys me about this, annoys me about the game and annoys me about this mission really, is like after I sided with the Pirates, and like Anija and Sarah, all of them were just like, how could you help the Pirates? And you couldn't say the UC are assholes or anything like that. You just have all the options of like, I like money or something stupid like that. They don't give you any good options to come back from it. Like I was like, just wanted to go like, the Pirates are all right actually. The UC are actually a bunch of assholes. That's what I wanted to say, but they didn't give that option. So I was like, ugh. So yeah, so that's the one thing that annoyed me about this is I did the mission and then I felt like everyone hated me afterwards, and I was like, I'm not. Why do you all hate me? I think I did the right thing here. Like Sarah hated me, and Asia hated me, Barrett and Samco. Well, they all hated my guts. Like, how dare you help these pirates get a treasure that like was lost? It's like, yeah, it's no one else is getting this money. What difference does it make? God.
Well,
like,
for me,
Jesus,
that did not happen to me because everyone's cool.
Sorry,
after I went over to them, and you know. And I think I know why.
What? Why?
Because I got high.
Tell me why.
I got high.
Because I got high.
Any kidding. Yeah, so...
That was random.
Yeah, so... Why? Well, it's because I actually haven't started the main story, and I didn't have any of those companions with me yet. Sarah, Andrea, or anyone... They didn't...
Very clever.
I didn't use them. I just focused on fighting on my own. So I don't know whether it's that or the fact that I haven't really began the main story quest yet. And because of that, everyone in the constellation is pretty cool with me and don't hate it, which is a shame because I would love to have a sassy Sarah instead of like Sarah's just like cool with me, you know?
I wish that we had a bit more like. Was it a Naja? She's like the closest you got to like a rogue partner, like a partner who's a bit like badass. They all seem a bit too like goody two shoes, all four of them. It's like, oh, how dare you steal money from people? How dare you do this? I'm like, shut up! I'm trying to have fun. I thought you were a cowboy. I thought you were supposed to be cool. Like, come on now, you're all so lame. That's like the one thing I hate about this. You have 4 companions and all 4 of them are like square as hell. They're a bunch of lame asses.
Yeah.
I want to be a pirate, goddammit. Pirates are cool.
I love being the pirates.
So yeah, that is the Crimson Fleet. Arr. I'm going to be the king of the pirates.
And we've been talking so much about it. But yeah, we certainly like talk so much and like, oh, it just shows like how much we enjoy it. I think to me, it's quite close to the Dark Brotherhood. But I think the Dark Brotherhood and Oblivion always has the best missions of all the Bethesda games. But this one is pretty much close to it. In fact, I really did enjoy the missions there.
Fair.
And I think it's really fun. Also, the fact that you just like deal the heists and everything is just like interesting. But to me, I think it just kind of plays out like British gangsters type of thing, where you just like meet up with the gangsters and at some point you work as an undercover cop by the police. And it's just what gives me all those vibes. You had to play the undercover cop to the gangsters who want to do a bank heist. And they're like, this hits quite close to home with it.
It's one of those things, though. I still at the end of it. The pirates, all right, they're pirates, so they're bad, whatever. But like, they seem like all the characters are like really likable and nice and cool. All the characters are really cool and like actually quite loyal. And like they're like, as you said, they come back and help you at the end and stuff like that. The ones who you haven't ratted out, and then it's like. There's this lost treasure that's been found. It's like, what difference? Like, no one else is using that money. It's just lost money. What difference does it make? Like they get mad at you for finding this money. It's like, how dare you help them find that treasure? I'm like, come on now. Like, I'm Robin Hood here. I'm stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. We're doing the good stuff. We're the good guys. God damn it! I don't care. But yeah, I like the pirates. I think you are a pirate.
yeah, pretty much.
Yo ho fiddly doo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so speaking, so that was the Crimson Fleet. Now we're going into business meetings.
So, Ryujin Industries, I think...
From being a pirate to being a suit.
Yeah. Right, I need to explain about the Ryujin Industries. And this one...
Sorry.
I think there's a pattern to all the factions across every Bethesda game, including the Fallout games. I haven't played any of the Fallout games, so I can't tell there's similarities with it. But Ryujin Industries is pretty much the Thieves Guild side of it, where you don't get to steal them and sell it to the fence, which is a bit of a shame. If the 3-star rangers like cut down the missions and like you have to do bounty missions in order to progress, that would be great, because in Oblivion you have to steal and sell shit in order to progress through the missions. And I thought that's a really cool thing, even though it's a bit annoying because you had to steal loads of shit. But with Ryujin, it's just basically doing corporation corruption there. But this is like a largely stealth one, and it's something that relies on your stealth, which is why I had to pump all those skill points into both stealth and concealment, so it's easier for me to sneak through. But even so, stealth is not like always easy, and you can still get caught a few times. So...
Yeah, it's annoying. The whole mission is about getting ABK to Microsoft. Ryujin. It's corporate sabotage. It's fun. As I said in the previous one, They're meant to be stealth missions, but most of the time I just ran through them and just got what I needed and got out, which worked a lot of the time, to be fair. I just walk into a room, hack the computer, and then fast travel out of there, and that usually works.
Yes.
I was like, oh, that was easy. But yeah, Ryujin, interesting.
Well, the first half of it is basically doing simple stealth missions, nothing much. You just go in, like, get into computers, try to lock into safes, just as long as you don't get caught doing it. And it's just basically it. Like, there's like 13 missions, like, oh gosh, it's going to be a long time. Oh, actually, I think it's 11 missions. But the first half of it is just very brief. But lest we talk about this first mission, which is called Back to the Grind. Pun seemingly intended. So
you're getting coffee, which sounds like not a very amazing mission. So there you go. I mean, there's literally a mission where they said, "Go get us coffee."
Yeah, you have to go to the interview first for the job interview. You just go through the choices, go through that, and then like, oh, that's good. Now get us a coffee. So you went over to Terra Brew in like Neon, grabbed it. Yeah, I know it kind of sounds ridiculous. But then you meet up with this guy and he threatens to kill you because you've taken his job. So...
You took my job! You took my job! Yeah, some guy was like, you took my job, why did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know you. Who are you? Like, it's like that meme in it, like, you took everything from me, and his Thanos going, I don't know who you are. It's that meme in Gameful. Yeah, it's just some random guy who's pissed at me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. The first time I did it, I managed to talk him down, and he let. But the second time I did it, I messed it up, and he ended up killing himself. So,
that sucks. Because
I
managed to persuade him, and he just like, forget it, and just walked off. So I went over there, and like, you managed to deal with him all right. So now you got a job. So, promoted to senior manager doing your probation. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, I wish the real world worked like that. I've had loads of shit jobs where I've been stuck in a shit position for like years and not got any promotions. Day one promotion. I doubt that happens very often in the real world. So you become more like a corporate saboteur, I guess, is your job.
So
I guess that would be your job. It's a bit of a weird job, but hey.
Yeah, you still get told to do espionage missions. So you just do first half of it doing simple missions and make sure you don't get caught. Yay. So that's a traveling. And annoying one is that you try to persuade someone or you try to get a security uniform. Like, where do I get this uniform? Oh, screw it. Like, if you got pickpocketing perk, you just sneak around her and like steal a key card, and that's how you do the mission. But apart from that,
that's what I did.
Get over to top secret is when it gets really interesting. And it's also when the first time I went in there to get a syndicate enforcer, which is a special Vakashi, whether this is sword there that has it's an epic sword that has like really good effects there. But fighting with the Japanese style sword is like really cool. But this is pretty much a mission where you basically like try to persuade the receptionist, or you try to get to the top, and you just sneak in, make sure you don't get in with the guards. And I thought, you need to make sure you sneak through it. But all I had to do is like go through this canteen there, get through the secret door, and you just like sneak through all the way through the secure doors, and everyone sees me. Well, they don't really give a shit, so you just sneak through to the stairs, open the door, and turns out, apparently there's for the game, you just notice that, there's someone who seems to be acting as a mole. So you had to confront her and see whether you like either take her down or you just let her go. So how you did this?
It's the Merlin. Yeah, so so you find out that, this is where the mission gets interesting and also a bit weird. It's like, there's someone who's a mole, and then there's a mole for the mole, and a moley mole for that mole, and then that was a setup, and it was a double setup, and it was a complete backward sabotage, double cross and triple crossing. Yeah, this is where it gets like that. So this is the first time you discover there's a mole, and it's the person who interviewed you, or at least you think it is, and then she disappears, and then you have to go into the back of a fishmonger's. I think it's a fishmonger's. Yeah, I was like, can you let me in, please? And she's like, no, and then points a gun at me. So I just shot her in the face, point blank. And then Elijah was like, why would you do that? I was like, because I need to get in the back room, and she won't let me in. What else am I going to do? So, yeah, Elijah was pissed at me again. Whatever. She's such a whinger. Anyway, I went into the base, found her, talked to her, and it turns out that she's been set up. Da-da-da.
Anyway, I just realised, like, yeah, I just basically kept it cool and just, like, talked to Delton Fane. But it turns out I was talking about guilty parties, so I thought it's top secrets. But, it turns out top secrets is in Mars. So I just went in. All I did is, like, persuade the guy, use a passcode, and then I just sneaked into a admin room. And I was like, I thought I might get caught. Or if I just sneak around this guy's back, just access his computer when it's literally sat at the desk with it, but as long as he doesn't notice me like tapping into his computer from far away without him noticing, then yeah, just doing it behind his back. But there's a submission where you can.
It's pretty easy that one, yeah.
Then but there's a submission that if you can persuade this guy to let you in, he will give you this side mission where you just track down the ship. And it gives you an option where you can actually steal this ship and you get a free ship. But because I decided to persuade this guy, I don't want to waste any more time. I just like, do that, go through this, pop, job done.
Yeah, I did the same, I think. I don't think I got this extra mission. Probably should have done that now. I want a free ship. It's just the one where you get the special gun. I forgot what it's called now. Like it's like a red, like the Ember or something. Or am I getting confused with another
I know
mission?
what you mean. It's a electromagnetic one, the EM gun, and you get this when you start to do background checks, which is also before guilty parties. You get introduced to Delton Fanes. He's pretty good.
Yes.
Probably one of the good characters in this quest line.
Yeah.
But it gives you a crazy mission where you just meet up with a computer hacker and you're supposed to help him out, and there's a mission where you have to sneak into Ryujin Industries, so you can like fiddle with the computers and see who's the mole and try to set them up. So yeah, this is basically a mission where you just sneak into your own workplace, and that's where you get guards. Yeah, it's stupidly hard because you try to figure out how to get through it, and it's very difficult to get through the guards. So if you don't have a void space power, then good luck trying to make sure you get through without getting caught. And this took me a few tries. Oh my god.
I had a couple of quick saves and I was running from point to point with me. That's how I did it. I was like, okay, I need to get to this room, so I just ran across the area to that room and then got into the... Like, that's basically how I did it. So you can stealth it. I think stealth it is how you're meant to do it, but I did it by being ridiculously just fast and speed running it, going from point to point before they had a chance to get me.
Bear in mind, this is a mission where you get bounty, and I think it's with either Ryujin or Neon. But if you manage to, like... one pass through all the guards without getting detected, and like, yeah, that's kind of cool. So, but it's basically 2 floors, and you have to make sure you get through with the guards. But you can get away with like sapping people with the EM gun, and also like survive without the bounty. But yeah, this is quite crazy, really.
It can be frustrating at times, but I still enjoyed it. It's like I'll be like stealthing it, trying to be really stealthy, and they'll spot me. And then the second time, I'm like, you know what, screw it, and I just run past them, and that seems to be the one that works. It's like trying to do it the way I intended, and it didn't work, so I'm just going to do it my way, and that works better. So there you go. But yeah, so you get the information, you hack the computers, and yeah, is this where we got the? Have we caught up to where I was now? Because I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, I think it's just basically we did a guilty parties with 2 missions ahead. And then you get to the key ingredient, which basically comes in, grab the thing, and like, oh, just blow everything up because it's got pirates in it. So no stealth. So this is a refreshing break. Do you like this mission?
Thank God. Yes, well, any mission where I don't have to be stealthy, I love stealthy. The thing is, I love stealth games, but I just don't think the stealth works very well in this game. So I prefer just to blowing shit up, honestly. Yeah, that's something they need to work on for sure. Because like Metal Gear Solid and Dishonored and all that are some of my favorite games of all time, but not in this game. I'm sorry.
Now,
just give me a gun so I can shoot things.
We get over to Sabotage, and this is an infamous mission because it's got game-breaking bugs. Bethesda released 2 patches of it, and none of them fixes this serious game-breaking bug that could happen to anybody. And I feel this is related to people that if you do too many miscellaneous missions, then it would cause the few people of interest to disappear. Also, it's buggy and you may not get to do the mission. So, first of all, you got all the stuff there. You grab the ingredients and the special bits, and you can get some free surgery to put that Neuralink into your skull. Yay!
Yes. Yeah, I don't want a fan of that. Like, we're going to stick this in your brain. I'm like, do you have to? Do we have to stick something in my brain? Can we not?
Well,
it's like, no, you have to.
Well, Toph, this is a prelude to Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, we have mind control powers now.
So then,
which I never used.
So then you go to the test where you get the scientists to open the door. This one is just weird because even if I told it gives you a free manipulation skill, which gives you most of the chance there.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool because you get a better chance of manipulating the guard to do things. But it's required for the mission where you get this guy to open the door. But this one is not that easy. So you had to command this guy, grab the key off the table, which is not obvious to me at first because I first put him into the computer. But grab a key, interact the computer, and it would open the door. Then it was like, he was standing there doing 9 for 9, like, what's going on? Then he just walked out and talked to the scientist there and like, yeah. And I can't get out of the room. And then they just cleared out and like, I got out of here. So that one's kind of a bit annoying.
That took me a little bit to do. Yeah, I tried to... I used the power to control his mind and he just wouldn't pick up the key for ages and it took me like 4 or 5 attempts to get him to open the bloody door. And I never used the mind control again after that, apart from there's one occasion in the stealth mission afterwards where there's like big metal fans so you can get someone across the way to turn off. That's literally the only time I used the mind powers. After that, I never used them again. I don't see the point. Rather just shoot people.
Yeah.
Bang, bang. Anyway, go ahead. I cut you off.
That's all right. Then it just leads to a pretty big thing, and this one is very multifaceted. You have to sneak into this corporation, which is Infinity. So you have to go through, and you have to either do a complete stealth, try to manipulate guards to let you through, and try to let everyone out, or you just try to sneak through all the guards, or you disable the fans to make sure you get through and don't let the guards get you down. And to be honest, it's not very obvious on how you complete this. It just relies on your intuitivity, and this is not particularly that fun. So how do you deal with this?
I didn't like this mission at all. Yeah, this is so. I was like, I'm gonna go. Like it says, do you want to go through the front entrance with a pass and then like have an interview and all this and go in the normal way, or do you want to go through the roof? So I'll go through the front door, why not? So I did that, got spotted straight away when I went up the stairs, so then I ran out of the building, went up to the top, and then went through the roof. So I went through, basically did both entrances. So if you go through the roof, you can turn the giant fans off by using mind control. And that was literally the only other time I used mind control this entire time. I did my trusted technique of running to each checkpoint or each thing you needed to do. It's like, ran to this computer, ran to this thing, ran to this thing. That's literally all I did. So yeah, it was manic. And I'm glad I got it done. It was one of my least favourite missions in the game. I wasn't a fan of it, to be honest.
I don't like it either. And it's also quite buggy. Like, you go through all this all this crazy stealth things, and then this stage you have bugs that prevent you from completing it. And this frustrated a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, I never really used the mind link stuff. I didn't see the point. It's not that great, to be honest, but hey, it's another power that you can use, I suppose.
However, there's a best way of doing this and not get into loads of trouble, and this uses Nathan Liu, the YouTuber, who outlines this one that turns a super hard mission into a very easy one. And this gives you the few steps on how you can stealth yourself all the way through without killing or engaging any sort of people. So all you had to do is you go through the front door, get to the interview as usual, then you just wait for the Nia to be in her office. You see, you come over, talk to her, and tells you to get to Tony. I think that's what his name is. You go over to him, you talk through, and then use a manipulation option saying, I can actually do the presentation on your computer. It's like, oh yeah, use the computer. So you get over to computer, load up this like program there, then you just walk down into the labs, and you sneak through the above the lights. You just go through, and then you use manipulation to get the guard to open the door. Then you just drop down, grab your scientist lab coats or some sort, and get the bits there. So then you just walk through, pretend like a scientist, and you get to the labs. Then you just went over to interact with someone. Into the computer, try to do this behind her back or some sort. Then you just walk through the labs, get through the security door, and then the Neuralink's there. This one took me a few tries because every time I steal that and not get noticed, I get noticed and I get into trouble. I'm like, how does this work? And then it turns out, I had to shut the blinds first and then steal the Neuralink.
The damn blinds. That's hilarious. As I said, I just ran to the Neuralink. So the Neuralink's on my map, so I turned on, I destroyed the power switch that made all the smoke, like the gas go off in there, and people evacuate the building. And then I just ran to checkpoint to checkpoint to checkpoint. And just grabbed the Neuralink and then just fast travelled out. It was the easiest way of doing it, so no shame in that whatsoever. But it's interesting you can do it different ways. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah,
so
I'll have to look at that video.
So yeah, basically,
you got a link there,
I just basically sneaked through it and no one noticed a thing, so I just got out of it. But this comes to the part which can make or break this mission, and it happens at the very end.
Ooh.
So what do? You find David Flipping Barron in SSNN.
Right, yeah. The news reporter,
yeah. You walk up to him and say, oh, I've had this story and this, and it reports it, and then that's how you both of us did, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, I didn't realise there was a way of breaking that.
Well, what basically happens to some people is that you normally, even when you begin this whole Ryujin Industries mission, you have to make sure that David Farron is there in SSN. You can only interact with him, but you have to make sure that he's there, otherwise you waste your time. So you just get through, and once you complete this place, and normally you interact with him into completing the mission. But for some people, they cannot complete the sabotage mission because David Farron disappeared. I think that's what happened to me in my first playthrough, which I didn't do Ryujin, but I think last time I've been there, it's just like, oh, David Farron's not there. It must have disappeared. And I think one of the people noticed that if you've been helping this guy look after the trees and get some information there and complete the whole string of quests there, you can cause the David Farron to disappear. However, when I complete the sabotage mission and like talk to David Barron and put the report there, a few hours later or days later, got back to this place just to report on the news stories, and it was close to me finishing the game. David Barron is no longer there, and I don't know where he is. And that's when I did a few miscellaneous missions there. But I still don't know what caused him to disappear. And this is a serious bug. But at least I get to do Ryujin Industries. Got it done. But I think if I was doing it on the first playthrough and like, oh, you have to make sure that David Barron is in the SSNN. Oh, he's not there. So that means I can't do Ryujin. So that is a serious bug. But luckily for both of us, we completed the sabotage mission, and David Barron's there. So therefore, it just leads to the executive level mission. So is there anything else you can say about the sabotage?
All I was going to say is that obviously I didn't have that glitch, but I did have a glitch in the Red Mile mission during the Freestar Collective. So be careful about glitches. If you do glitch a character, I would recommend going to a previous save file, because it ended up making me having to essentially redo the entirety of the UC Collective again. So it's worth going to an older save file instead of just powering through. Or do New Game Plus. I don't know. There's options, but just be careful. It is annoying, I must say. And the tree mission, which I find interesting, you mentioned, I use that to go back so I can fast travel back to New Atlantis without having to open up the map and look for the planet. I just use that activity to go back to New Atlantis all the time. So I never actually have done that mission, but I use it to get back to to New Atlantis personally. There's a little cheat code. But yeah, so now is the finale of Ryujin. Executive level, which is just talking to people and trying to convince them to think the same way you do, which is interesting. What did you do?
Well, basically, I just think that I don't want to use Neuralink, so I just convinced everyone to say no to Neuralink, but you can buy Infinity. So that's what I did.
Oh, so I didn't really use the Neuralink at all, but I still convinced everyone to keep it. Because your boss goes, I need people to think that Neuralink's a good thing, and I need to buy Infinity. I'm like, all right, I'll just do what you said. I can't be bothered arguing, so I just convinced everyone to do the bad thing. And then Anija was pissed at me. It's like, why would you convince him to keep Neuralink? It's like, I don't know. I was told to do that. I just did it. It's quite interesting. You can basically sway the board meeting. So what happens if you convince everyone to abandon Neuralink? Because I didn't.
I don't think it makes. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Apart that when you get to the main story end, it tells you what really happens in this universe. But either way, it's just like you still get the rewards. And you just still make it outcomes that affect this whole thing. But I don't think I was with the companion back then, so I don't know what effects would have happened to the companions too.
Well, she was pissed at me for accepting it.
Who?
And doing it. And I'm getting it. Anija or Nija, whatever her name is. And Adrija, yeah. She was very pissed that I said that I kept the Neuralink business up and running. I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, in real life, I'll be like, that's terrifying. Please do not do that. That's horrible. I don't want that to be a real thing. But in a video game, I'm like, yeah, why not? Whatever.
I still find that Neuralink to be terrifying. So I said no.
Oh yeah, it is terrifying.
I always said nope,
no, thank
don't
you.
allow this to happen to Ryujin. Thank you very much.
That's fair. I don't blame you. I was just fully into the deep end of being a corporate arsehole, so I just fully role-played it.
Yes.
Just went all in. So I was interested. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised, actually. I think you did the right thing. I'm surprised it didn't make much of a difference story-wise. I thought they might make a bigger difference than what, just a story, flavor test. So that's interesting. It's an interesting mission, and it's fascinating. You can sway people's way of thinking, no matter what, which is interesting. I thought that was cool. I wonder what happens if you convince them not to buy Infinity. that'd be well, probably nothing, but it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's probably nothing anyway.
Interesting.
But either way, it's pretty much Ryujin. And
so
I think the cool thing is that you can get a operative suit, which is probably happens at the start of Sabotage. And you get a helmet, but you do get a suit that gives you extra stealth. But funny enough, it just makes you look like Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah. I was so earlier on in this podcast, I said I was doing a stealth mission and I found a better stealth suit. That's the stealth suit I was referring to. That would have been useful earlier on when I was doing the stealth missions for the Crimson Fleet, is what I was saying. I wasn't very stealthy when I first did the Crimson Fleet stuff. So we've discussed all 4 factions. I would like to know, in order, which one's your favourites from 4th to 1st?
Well, that's very interesting because...
I can go first if you prefer, if you want to have a think about it.
Oh, you want to go first? Yeah, shoot.
Well, it's up to you if you need a minute to think about it, because I put you already. On the spot.
You want to start? You start.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So my least favourite is probably Ryujin. There's a bit too much stealth. I like the double twist and like the mole and the mole of the mole and all that. I thought that was interesting. And I like this. I like Neon. I think it's a cool setting, but I feel like the stealth, there's too much stealth, so I wasn't really a fan of that one. Then 3rd place would be the UC Vanguard. I'm not a huge fan of the military and armies and stuff like that. I'm not really fan. I'm not a huge fan of authority. Then I would say probably Freestar Collective, because you get some cool stuff at the end, and I like the setting, like cowboys and stuff. And then my favourite would be the Crimson Fleet, because I like being a pirate. Yar, mateys. I like being a pirate. How about you? What would be your which is your favourite and which is your least favourite, and so on?
Last place is Freestar Collective, and that's because I think it was supposed to be like, I was hoping for a lot of bounty hunting, and I thought, oh, you had to do bounty missions to go through, and I thought there'd be lots of fun. But instead, you just go through like the mystery, and sometimes you had to rely on your intuition just to figure out, what do I do? How do I find those clues? But I think it's just like story, not so much, and missions a bit naff. The only reason you'll be going through them is just that you can get a free cool ship, which is one of the best ships in the game, and you get that by the end, which if you just speed through like 4 to 6 hours of gameplay and you get it. But that's basically all you get from the Freestar Collective. You
get a nice handgun as well, the dead shots, but pretty much.
Then 3rd place, Ryujin Industries. Like, I thought this was quite a nice environment, and at some points it's a bit fun, but honestly the stealth missions is just like a bit of a huge pain, and it doesn't help the fact that stealth mechanics, well, it's kind of a bit wonky there, and it wasn't overly enjoyable. But at least you get some like a free manipulation perk as well as a stealth suit. But the whole thing is just not that special.
And you get a nice office at the end as well, which we didn't mention.
I didn't know that.
Like, ooh, I have an office now. Oh yeah, you have an office. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what you use it for, but you have one.
Yeah. My second choice is the UC Vanguard. I think it's a really interesting story. You get to face the xenomorphs, and it's like, wow, this is crazy. And it's just like doing all this fighting. And I think it has a better action, and it's got the better twists compared to the main story. And I feel this is like really cool. Although there's not a lot going on with it. But I did find the final mission to be so great. It has a huge twist. Well, there's a penultimate mission anyway. Yeah. But you do get some really fantastic loot, like a legendary suit, a legendary minigun, and all those things. And I think all those bits is just what caps off this amazing questline. So I think it's like really fun. Then the first place is Crimson Fleet, because I think the missions are really fun. The stealth part's not so great, but the story is like pretty tailored and give it some like interesting missions. So I can guarantee there's a lot of fun and rewards to go with it. So I think this is definitely something you can check out. But I think many people would do the Ryujin Industries first, because it's just like, it comes with bugs first, and if you do any other missions, it could cause glitches with it. But otherwise, if you don't care about anything else and you just wanted to go through again with going through New Game Plus, then you can just stick with Crimson Fleet as the first thing, and it's just really fun to join there, as well as doing the mission. So, yeah, it's cool.
I agree. Crimson Fleet is definitely my favourite as well, so I agree with that completely. I would love to hear your list and rankings in the comments below if you guys are listening still. What would be how would you rank the 4 faction missions? Which would you prefer? I'd love to hear in the comments below. And if your least favourite is Crimson Fleet and your favourite is Ryujin, I would love to hear like that version around, because obviously neither of us think that way, so it'd be really cool to hear someone else's point of view on that. I would love to hear that. Yeah. So are we pretty much done with our third spoiler cast?
Yeah, it's a lot longer than I thought. Ooh. But yeah, we just pretty much got this off our chests, and hopefully the next few episodes should be much shorter. Well, I don't want to jinx it too much, but anyway, so nice long episode, covered all the spoiler casts, and I suppose we can finally wrap this up. So thanks for the chat, and thank you to our viewers to listen through all this and get to enjoy all the stories in like Starfield. And the next few episodes is just pretty much dealing with achievements before we can look back on this whole game. So again, thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you around.
See you in space, Starboards.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.